Children of planet Earth.
This is a new and strange environment at first. This suddenly finding yourself in orbit.
In Discovery Houston, we've got a good picture of Steve.
Godspeed, John Glenn.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. How the big fireflies.
All right, liftoff and the clock has started. Yes, sir, reading you loud and clear.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Hola, amigos. Felicitaciones a México y especialmente a mi amigos de Guaymas. And from the crew of Apollo 8, we close with good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you on the good earth.
Dave, an extraordinary television picture here.
Okay, extraordinary television. Okay, Houston, as I stand out here in the wonders of the unknown again, we come to realize there's a fundamental truth to our nature. Man must explore. And this is exploration at its greatest.
Dave, an extraordinary television picture
Hello
here.
from the children of planet Earth.
Charlie, what? Something happened here. What happened? I don't know. Here's a line that pulled loose. Uh-oh. What line is it? That's the heat flow. Pull it off. Kind of sorry. I didn't know it. I didn't even know it. Charlie, what? Something happened here. What happened? I don't know. Here's a line that pulled loose. Uh-oh. What line is it? That's the heat flow. Pull it off. Kind of sorry. I didn't know it. I didn't even know it. Charlie, what? Something happened here. What happened? I don't know. Here's a line that pulled loose. Uh-oh. What line is it? That's the heat flow. Pull it off. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know it. I didn't even know it. Charlie, what? Something happened here. What happened? I don't know. Here's a line that pulled loose. Uh-oh. What line is it? That's the heat flow. Pull it off. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know it. I didn't even know it. Charlie, what? Something happened here. What happened? I don't know. Here's a line that pulled loose. Uh-oh. What line is it? That's the heat flow. Pull it off. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know it. I didn't even know it. Charlie, what? Something happened here. What happened? I don't know. Here's a line that pulled loose. Uh-oh. What line is it? That's the heat flow.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving a goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving a goal before this decade is out
Hello from the children of planet Earth. Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Well, in my left hand I have a feather. In my right hand a hammer. I guess one of the reasons we got here today was because of a gentleman named Galileo a long time ago who made a rather significant discovery about falling objects in gravity fields. And we thought that where would be a better place to confirm his findings than on the moon. And so we thought we'd try it here for you. The feather happens to be appropriately a falcon feather.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
There used to be two types of electricity. It was between Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. we had AC and DC, direct current and alternating current. There was a war for which format was going to win. It's very famous that Edison toured the country killing elephants by demonstrating that Tesla's electricity was too dangerous for normal use. There is a Nikola Tesla Institute in Eindhoven, and I talked to the director of the institute named Walter Van Horn. Walter told me of a very curious story that Tesla used to tell his daughter. One day his daughter asked, "Father, what is it that you do with your work?" And Tesla tried to explain about how electricity worked. But his daughter didn't believe that it was real. And Tesla finally said, "Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret here. Electricity doesn't really exist. It's only there when we all believe together. And that's what makes it possible." So, for the next part of the performance, I'd like you to join me in believing that electricity is real. And I'd like you to be the first live audience to experience a 5-ball lightning arpeggio. Okay, now we can move on to the rest of it. What's going to happen next? Burn out my grid? May have burned out. No. Some things that used to work are not working. Oh. Wow.
Stand by for touchdown. Stand by. 25 feet. Down at 2. Feels good. 20 feet. Going down at 2. 10 feet. 10 feet. That contact. Stop push. Engine stop. Engine R. Proceed. Command override off. 3 little dust. 40 feet. Going down at 3. Stand by for touchdown.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
I was born in Ohio. Neil Armstrong was also from Ohio. Neil Armstrong was the first human on the moon. 2019, last year, was the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. NASA put humans on the moon for the first time. NASA in the 70s launched a satellite called Voyager. On Voyager, there was the golden record. The golden record contained the brainwaves of Carl Sagan's wife. And at the time, Carl's fellow scientists, they said, but Carl, this is kind of stupid. To be honest, nobody can understand what your wife's brainwaves are. This is not scientific, you're just doing this for love. And Carl said, that might be true, that people today don't understand the brainwaves. But perhaps in 1 million years, those brainwaves will make sense. So, as a tribute to NASA and Carl Sagan, I'd now like to show you some juggling, which may not make sense now, but might make sense in 1 million years.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Thanks, Eric. You can go away. All right. I need to tell you about the next thing I'm going to do as well. You see, in 1981, the first Laserdisc was commercially available. And the first image on the first Laserdisc was a video of Michael Cass from MIT juggling 4 Laserdiscs. Of course, I thought that was kind of interesting. But it turns out there's a record on file at MIT of the second ever made Laserdisc and what it contained. And on the list of those video clips, there's also mention of the word juggling. Unfortunately, that second Laserdisc was never found. So, what I'd like to show you next is a collaboration between myself and Ivar Heckscher, who's the former director of the circus school here in Stockholm. Ivar and I sat down and we tried to imagine what would have been on the second Laserdisc. So to that end, Ivar has made me some objects to juggle. And as part of the mystery, as the tribute to the second Laserdisc, I have no idea what's inside of them. So I invite you to join me to discover what Ivar would like to show you today.
This is Apollo Control. Some 9 minutes, 27 seconds remaining until loss of signal on this 10th revolution in lunar orbit. Crew preparing now that they've finished breakfast and gotten a lot of their other items out of the way, such as their crew checklist, sleep status, and so on. Preparing for
for the second time and preparing for the day's activities, which will culminate in a landing this afternoon. Apollo 11 is presently in an orbit with a pericynthion of 55.7 nautical miles, apocynthion 63.8 nautical miles. Lunar orbit velocity 5,368 feet per second. We'll continue to stand by on the air-ground circuit for the remaining 8 minutes of this revolution, or until loss of signal. Ground elapsed time now is 95 hours, 25 minutes. Apollo control standing by. This is Apollo control. Some 9 minutes, 27 seconds remaining until loss of signal on this 10th revolution in lunar orbit. Crew preparing, now that they've finished breakfast and gotten a lot of their other items out of the way, such as their crew checklist, sleep status, and so on. Preparing for manning the limb for the second time and preparing for the day's activities, which will culminate in a landing this afternoon. Apollo 11 is presently in an orbit with a pericynthion of 55.7 nautical miles, apocynthion 63.8 nautical miles. Lunar orbit velocity 5,368 feet per second. We'll continue to stand by on the air-ground circuit for the remaining 8 minutes of this revolution, or until loss of signal. Ground elapsed time now is 95 hours, 25 minutes. Apollo control standing by. This is Apollo control. Some 9 minutes, 27 seconds remaining until loss of signal on this 10th revolution in lunar orbit. Crew preparing, now that they've finished breakfast and gotten a lot of their other items out of the way, such as their crew checklist, sleep status, and so on. Preparing for manning the limb for the second time and preparing for the day's activities, which will culminate in a landing this afternoon. Apollo 11 is presently in an orbit with a pericynthion of 55.7 nautical miles, apocynthion 63.8 nautical miles. Lunar orbit velocity 5,368 feet per second. We'll continue to stand by on the air-ground circuit for the remaining 8 minutes of this revolution, or until loss of signal. Ground elapsed time now is 95 hours, 25 minutes. Apollo control standing by. This is Apollo control. Some 9 minutes, 27 seconds remaining until loss of signal on this 10th revolution in lunar orbit.
And I think we'll leave these to a mystery, just like the second Laserdisc.
Crew preparing, now that they've finished breakfast and gotten a lot of their other items out of the way, such as their crew checklist.
This is Apollo control at 95 hours, 38 minutes. There will be a change of shift briefing following this shift. We estimate the briefing will begin in about 10 or 15 minutes in the MSC auditorium. This is Apollo control at 95 hours, 38 minutes. There will be a change of shift briefing following this shift. We estimate the briefing will begin in about 10 or 15 minutes in the MSC auditorium.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
This is a juggling machine. It has no feedback. There's no cameras. There's no sensors. It's just a mechanical movement that will recreate the act of juggling. And that's not entirely true. Actually, this machine has eyes, it has ears, it has emotions, it has intentions. But it just so happens that all those things are inside of me. Oh, maybe there's people coming in here to... No? No. That's it. So, like I was saying, what we have here is actually a time-traveling cyborg. Cyborg because it's a human machine, and time-traveling because the calibration takes place before the machine actually juggles. And this means a few different things. Number one, it means that, well, just like any human, this can go very wrong. But number two, it also starts to point out that the 3-ball juggling pattern in itself is a time machine. We can see in the 3-ball pattern the place of any one ball at all times. One ball was just caught, one ball will be caught, and the other ball has been thrown. And this way we can say 3 balls is time travel. So with this time traveling cyborg, we do actually have some time travel, if it works. To that end, I'm a little bit sad that Shim's not here, because this is for him. Because he likes things that are destructive and that die and that are bloody, right? And this is for him. Because it just so happens that on my juggling machine, we have this big red button here. And this is not a theatrical joke. This is actually a kill switch. When this button is pressed, all power to the machine is cut. This was done because my friend who made this, when he was working on it, sometimes had to press it so it would stop moving and stop it from breaking. But since he added this under the control box, I thought it was really nice that when the machine is running, I'm going to place it right here underneath the pattern. And if I've done my job incorrectly, one of the balls fall, the machine will kill itself. So I thought Shim would like this, but I'll have to watch the video later. So, to get this going, let's see. This is, by the way, the first time anything like this has been done in the history of the world. And that's not a joke. Previously, there's been juggling machines, but they use optical feedback, robotics, a computer processor to analyze where the objects are going. And this is the first time, maybe, in the history of the world where we have a fully autonomous juggling machine without any feedback. So let's see here if this is going to work.